Hello, and welcome to the DecentraWise Podcast. My name is Pedro.
And I'm Miguel, and you just joined us in our mission to decentralize the world wisely.
Very important, wisely, because there's so many not wise stuff going on in crypto usually that it's very important to do it wisely, right? And it's our mission to talk about uh, the use of crypto in a wise way, and especially developing wise stuff uh, in crypto, Web3, and security. So, welcome to this podcast. This will be a fun one because we are talking about DeFi, right? And it's a very hot topic because there's a lot going on usually, like 80 or something percent rug pulls, uh, and
Yeah, well,
not talking about scams and all those things that
no, it's
people.
things that just go wrong. Things that are just not planned exactly how they are supposed to be planned, and they just go south.
But that's a lot. There's a lot of rug pulls too, because people know that it's there's a big community always looking for the next place to put their coins and make some profits. So um, you like launch a project and wait for some liquidity to come and then take it down and keep the profits.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's it.
how many projects are there?
There are thousands.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
probably I don't know, 60 to 70% are well-intentioned projects, and then you have others that are. You don't think
No,
so? Okay, let's
no.
talk about it.
I'm pretty sure because there's a vast majority of rug pulls because you are talking about legit or projects in Ethereum, projects in legit um,
Yeah, I have to
chains.
say that most
But if you
projects
if
that I
you
check,
include Binance Smart Chain, uh,
yeah,
it's a
probably.
completely different story. And um, yeah, it's not just Binance Smart Chain, but it's a lot. It's by far
You are-
the
okay.
biggest.
You are talking about we are talking about thousands of currencies, thousands of tokens, and but from my view, from my analysis, I tend to focus on bigger projects that have
Yeah, of course.
some relevance in the
That's
world,
the only.
and
That's
and those are probably not rug pulls. Those
no,
are
no, they are not.
legitimate
Of
projects,
course.
but sometimes even those can be a rug pull because they die because they are not well dimensioned or well planned, and things that were not expected happen, like bear markets, and nobody knows
Yeah,
about those.
that's
But some projects are not expecting those,
yeah.
and they just die because of that.
But the when I talk about rug pulls, it's intentional,
Yeah, I
intentional
understood.
stuff. But there are a lot of legit projects, and DeFi is not just a scam. It's a very interesting area, actually, and that's the whole point of this discussion because what we want to show is that uh, there is a lot of room for creating opportunities for people in this space, real opportunities. It's not just scams. And
Yeah,
what is important is to understand the difference between the two and uh, try it out and understand how to use
Yeah,
this, how
mainly
to
how to identify
yeah.
a rug pull.
So with this long introduction, um, we are set for a nice discussion. And so I'm sorry about my voice and my nose. And guys, under the weather is the natural states in this time of the year. So I still grab my drink and sit back and relax and have a good time with all of you. And if you want to participate in this discussion, write us in the chat. Um, and let's dive right in.
Yeah, let's go for it. So how do we start?
So, um, the first thing is to um, to understand what is DeFi, right?
Mhm.
So, this DeFi stands for Decentralized Finance, and it uh, it is a very broad term that fits everything finance related that is decentralized, right? Uh,
Yeah,
the
usually
there
everything
are
that
two.
deals with the token, it's DeFi. Well, it's finance.
It's not the token. It's what you do with it, right?
Yeah,
A token is not DeFi. Like
yeah, but everything you do with the token, it's
yeah,
considered DeFi. Well, it's considered finance, not DeFi.
yeah. So in DeFi, there are two main categories. Three. We can think of three. Uh, the first is the DEXs, right? The decentralized exchanges, and that in itself is uh, a set of multiple parts usually, and we'll discuss that. And then we have the borrow lending platforms, which is the second part of DeFi. And the third part of DeFi is the yield farming part, which is usually a component of both the two first parts. So, starting with the first, decentralized exchanges. Uh, what comes to mind immediately is Uniswap, right? It was the first one, but I have uh, one note in this thing. Decentralized exchanges. Uniswap was not the first decentralized exchange. Uh, I worked with the first decentralized exchange, and it was many years before Uniswap even thought of existing. And its name was BitShares.
Yeah,
Uh, it was one of the first chains of Dan Larimer. We already talked about Dan Larimer because of Steam, and um, BitShares still exists. I actually got contacted by them a few days ago, and they still exist. It appears that they are like I thought that they would die when they got like uh, the most investment was Chinese back in 2020 or something, 2019. But then it appears that there's some development lately. So I am happy because it was a very interesting project. It was a very performant blockchain, one of the best actually today still.
Yeah.
And uh, there you could not just exchange tokens, not ERC20s. It was just uh, any token that was launched on their chain, and you could create derivatives, many kinds of derivatives in pegged coins. So there was gold pegged tokens and US pegged tokens and US dollar and anything. Uh, so this in 2016 around there. So yeah, I think or even or to 2015. I'm not sure. It was many years ago. So yeah, uh, there this technology like decentralized exchanges uh, already existed. What
Yeah.
Uniswap did was to create a way to do it in a very poorly performed performant blockchain like Ethereum, right? Uh,
Yeah,
and
but it's well known, so that's why it
yeah, yeah,
grew
yeah,
so much.
because Ethereum is a very cool system, but if you compare the transactions that could be done in Ethereum back in the day, it was like 5 or 10 per second or something like that, and in BitShares the transaction number was in the millions.
Yeah.
So it was like a completely different thing, right?
Yeah.
And but Uniswap got very interesting uh, because it made it so simple to operate, to transact in even in Ethereum. That yeah, it was a very cool project because of that. So
Yeah, and that was the thing. There was nothing like that in Ethereum.
mm, yeah, so and the other part was that it was a completely open source project. Actually, BitShares was too, but it was so complex that nobody cared to fork it. And it's a lot easier to fork stuff written in Solidity, like the smart contracts in Solidity, because Solidity is very similar to JavaScript and very well-known language today or a few years ago. Um, but in BitShares, it was a single-purpose blockchain. It was not a smart contract blockchain made in C++. So C++ guys are still nerds that are hard to find. Here are two, but yeah, we are still hard to find. So yeah, it was difficult because of that, and it didn't have the same effect. Uniswap was forked like a gazillion times.
Yeah.
Uh, Pancake Swap is a fork of Uniswap. All the Sushi
Oh,
Swap,
every
all
swap.
all the uh, fruits, vegetables, meats,
Flavors,
swaps are forks
dogs,
of Uniswap.
cats.
So yeah,
There are a bunch of them. Yeah.
it was also a factor to determine its success, right? Because
Yeah.
there was many forks and people got very used to that code base, and it just was very simple. and very easy for people to wrap their heads around, and that was very cool, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Uniswap was the first actual DeFi uh, protocol, and then the forks started appearing here and there in a chain near you. Then the forks of Ethereum got also an interesting place in the chain world. They started as Ethereum killers, and then they realized it was best to call themselves layer twos of Ethereum, like Polygon
Yeah.
and Binance Smart Chain and all those. And so, uh, and today we have multiple chains and multiple protocols and so on. So, uh, and each of the chains has started with their own fork of Uniswap, like SushiSwap or PancakeSwap. I think PancakeSwap was Binance Smart Chain one,
I don't recall.
and so on. So, and right now they all evolved for multi-chain. So you can do you can use any of the supported chains with those protocols and so on.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
the
that's
natural
one
way,
big
right?
advantage of those protocols, that they work in multiple blockchains.
Yeah.
Can we
So
explore that a little bit? How does that work?
I have to share my screen. Let me try. Um, let me try my.
And I mean, my main question is how do they connect between chains, right? Because they are working
Mhm.
independently of each other. So there will have to be a communication channel between them.
Here we are. This is Uniswap, right? So um, you come here, you have the pools. Of course, you have to connect a wallet, and I on this browser I don't have any wallets configured. Um, so I also am a careful guy. I don't want to share my wallet with the world like that.
Yeah, share it
So
with me. I'll take care of it.
no, I'm not sharing my wallet with anyone. It's mine. So um, you connect your wallet. You have the liquidity pools, and we can with your wallet you can deposit um, pairs of tokens on liquidity pools and earn money. That's one of the things. So you provide liquidity and you get transaction fees as rewards, right?
Okay, but what does Uniswap does? What's the main feature of Uniswap?
It's this one, swap. But this
Go
only
figure.
works. This only works if there are pools, right?
Yeah.
So uh, in here you can swap tokens. You can swap ETH for any other token that you want, like USDC, for instance, right? And you can say, I want to uh, exchange 10 ETH, and that represents 20,000 bucks. So that's it. Or you can do the opposite, like 10 USD. 10 USD. I want to buy 10 USD of Ethereum. So I will get 0.0000000
Zero zero.
something. So this is just um, a very simple way for you to exchange tokens because there are people providing liquidity in the liquidity pools, right?
Yeah. So how does this work? So usually the swap platforms, they charge you a fee so that they can pay for the liquidity pools. So if you are putting investing some money on a liquidity pool, the money that you get, it's from the transaction fees. Do you want to go deeper on that?
Yeah. Whenever you have you do a swap, you will pay. There is a very little
I think
fraction.
it
I don't
says
know.
I think it says there, if you put some value there, I think it says something there. No.
Price
Yeah,
impact,
fee
network cost, fee.
0.15%.
Yeah. So you have 0.15% of that are taken in the transaction, and those are distributed in a fair way by all the liquidity providers that are providing liquidity for the network or for the protocol, right?
Yeah.
So, and you pay $10 for
Yeah,
working or
yeah,
sending a
that's
transaction in
another fee.
Ethereum,
So yeah,
right?
that's the network fee. So you will have that network cost, and on top of that, you pay that fee that goes to the liquidity pools.
Yeah. So you have the slippage here, which is very, very little with
Please
this just.
explain what the slippage is.
So the slippage is actually one very important thing because um, it's it's like accepting um, a risk of receiving less than you were supposed because you are doing the trade. So in an ideal world without MEV, and we already talked about this in a previous episode. Uh, in an ideal world, we would make a trade, and only if we were if it was a very low liquidity market uh, and our trade was too big, there was a very significant slippage. Uh, and it's still like that. But if you accept a bigger liquidity, a bigger slippage, then you should. In an MEV world with thousands of bots trying to make a profit out of you, um, chances are that what you accept is what you get. So you have to be very careful with the slippage because of that. Because if you say that you will accept 10% or 20%, if you go to trade with those tokens that have taxation, for instance, they say that you should use slippage because there is a tax. The tax is counted as slippage when you trade, and like they all charge like 10% or something like that on trades. So you have to use a very high slippage, and chances are that you will always be taxed a lot more than that, because MEV bots are just
Yeah. Yeah.
let's get those tokens
Yeah.
out of this guy,
In short,
right?
this is a small market, and if you say that you are willing to pay X% for this transaction, uh, the market can be manipulated so that you really pay that percentage. You can even configure that slippage. I think you can go
Yeah,
to the
you
wheel up there, and
but I think it's only uh,
yeah, you have the max
so
slippage there.
you
It's
exactly
configured to automatic.
auto,
Yeah,
and you can put custom and put like 20% here.
yeah,
But they actually inform that here your transaction may be, no, it's not correct, will be front run.
most probably will, unless they are very distracted.
at least at least in Ethereum and the big ones,
Yeah,
your transaction will be front run for sure. And if you
yeah,
accept 10% or 20%,
yeah. They will
you
manipulate
that's
the
what you will
transactions
get.
in order to make you
So
pay that. Yeah,
yeah, so it's good to have it on auto, but always look at this value, okay? Because in small markets, the auto configuration can go high. They will show you a warning.
yeah. If
Slippage
it's higher than
is
usual, I
high.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, but always take precautions when there is a high slippage, right?
yeah. The same to the network cost. Just pay attention if it's a high traffic season and the network costs go up.
Hmm.
So also pay attention to that, because you might end up to paying a lot for a single transaction. That if you wait a couple of hours, it might slow down, and you will pay a lot less.
Yeah, if you can see it like this. Whenever China and the states are sleeping, it's the best time to use Ethereum.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I'm talking about sometimes there are times where transactions are traditionally high. For instance, if Ethereum is going up, like skyrocketing, uh, people will start making a lot of transactions to catch the
It's
train
not
to get it
it's
up.
not just up.
No, no,
If
I'm
any
just giving an example. If
if
it's
the
going
market
down,
is
it's
moving,
really going down. Yeah, if it's
yeah,
moving a lot, uh, chances are that the transaction fees will go up quite a bit. So if you want to just make a transaction and it can wait maybe a few hours or a couple of days, maybe you should consider it.
yeah, and you can also check Ethereum gas station. It's a very cool website where you can see the gas prices and the evolution, and you can use it to see if it's a good time to do a transaction or not, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, this is Uniswap on Ethereum, but as you can see, Uniswap supports a lot of chains. So Polygon, BNB chain, which was Binance Smart Chain, and they renamed, and I still call it Binance Smart Chain
yeah. Well, it's
just because
Binance,
just because I can.
just because
Uh,
it is.
they didn't ask me to change my vocabulary, so I Binance Smart Chain is the name for me. So and there's a lot base, the Coinbase new layer two, and yeah, Avalanche, Optimism, of course, and
Okay, okay.
everything. Arbitrum.
Yeah, please change to another one, please.
Okay, which one?
Just let's go to Polygon.
Polygon. So I'll change to Avalanche.
Yeah, that's just as good. You know what I wanted to first to talk about is this is a completely different blockchain. So how do things integrate between the chains?
So I'm exchanging for USDC, one Matic. And as you can see, network cost is like less than 1 cent.
Yeah.
Fee is zero.
And all of this because we are not transacting in the Ethereum blockchain, which is very expensive. It's a very expensive network. This one is a lot cheaper, so you can see the network costs are really low and the fees are zero. How come?
Mhm.
Why are the fees zero if we have
No,
to pay for the liquidity pools?
But maybe because this liquidity pool doesn't charge any fee. I don't know. Let's try another token. Like, for instance, Aave token.
Also zero.
And let's put here 1 inch.
I think it's because it's Black
It's
Friday.
zero.
They are on sale.
1 inch. So if we put here WS.
Maybe there's something there. Maybe it's so low that it's rounding to zero.
I'm not sure because there is no fee associated with this swap. So maybe there is some
maybe they are changing charging in another liquidity pool which covers the other ones. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But well, it will depend on the implementation of the protocol. So
Yeah,
things like this can happen.
I think
if they plan
it's
for it.
something related to Polygon or something like that. Maybe because Polygon is a side chain of Ethereum or something like that. Or I don't know. Let's see BNB. What happens in BNB? Let's exchange Ethereum with USDC. One Ethereum. Here you have a fee.
Yeah.
Right. That is the regular thing. So I don't know why Polygon is having zero fees.
Yeah,
maybe they are
some sort of
supporting the fees
promotion.
somehow. I don't know. I'm
Maybe
not
some
sure.
sort of promotion that they are
Yeah.
going through.
Let's check Base.
That
Base.
has like 10% fee.
USDC 1.
No, it's the same. Yeah.
0.15 as well.
Yeah, and the network cost is also low.
Very low, of course. Optimism. Let's try USDC. 1 Ethereum. 21 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 0.15% again. Yeah.
No problem. $3 of
So it's mostly implemented the same way in every blockchain.
Yeah. So just Polygon has let's see, Avalanche 1 for USDC. Here there's zero fees.
Yeah, but it's also AVAX, so change it to ETH.
Oh, sorry. WS.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So let's try again Polygon with WETH to USDC, 1 ETH, and what we have here.
Oh, now
there's fees.
Okay, so probably some tokens are not charging fees, and they are covering those liquidity pools with this one.
So as we can see, The protocol fee is basically the same, but the network fee is what makes some very large changes. So when we want to select which network we will be operating, we can use this as an example, right? Don't forget one thing: by using a layer 2 network like Polygon or um, any of these, uh, there will be a cost involved in exchanging the tokens from the layer 2 that you use back to Ethereum, right? So uh, it, it's usually and time consuming and risky because bridges are hacked all the time. And so if you want to do a trade and it's very much cheaper in Polygon, try to see if the destination of your trade also supports Polygon, right? And do it on Polygon directly to the destination that you want to send the resulting token to, right? Because uh, usually exchanging then the tokens through a bridge uh, can have also more. It will have for sure network fees, uh, and depending on the bridge, a bridge fee. And if you sum all those, maybe it's not
Yeah, such a
so
good
cheaper.
business to
It's
go
not
there.
so cheaper to use a layer two,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's cheaper to use just Ethereum, and that's it. Okay. I'm talking about this because I already did that mistake, and I thought, well, I will use Polygon because it's a lot cheaper, and then I had to exchange the funds back to Ethereum and network fees to send it back to where I wanted to put it, and at at the end I was paying like two times the network fee in
Yeah, yeah.
Ethereum.
This is pretty good. If for instance, if I want to exchange the token and then send it to you, and both of us will have a Polygon wallet, and everything is inside Polygon, and everything is a lot cheaper. But otherwise, if you want to move it to another blockchain, yeah, you have to measure the costs.
Yeah. So that was Uniswap. I think uh, as it's an example of a decentralized exchange. There are many other decentralized exchanges, and they all have something similar to this. And one that comes to mind is 1inch. It's one other decentralized exchange. There are others. So advantages and disadvantages of using a decentralized exchange. Uh, One obvious advantage is you keep control of your funds all the time,
Yeah,
right?
that's when you see the DeFi or decentralize something, it means that you are responsible, and pay very attention to this. You are responsible for your things. You are responsible for your shit. You own it. So you are
Yeah.
responsible for it. If you lose it, you lost it. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And so the first thing is that, and the second thing is that there is no entity allowing you. to do you, your own shit, right?
And that's the good thing. For
Uh,
instance, some centralized exchange, if you put your money there, if they wish to, they can freeze your account. They can do whatever they want to your account. They can stop you from taking your money out, to withdraw your money, to put money in, or to they can ask you for a KYC to in order to put some money in it for you to play with the exchange. But that doesn't happen on DeFi usually. So on DeFi, the market is a bit more free.
Usually, uh,
Yeah, I don't know
it
any
doesn't.
that
it-
requires that,
yeah,
because I think
and
it's impossible to do it. But
if it is
I'm not really
DeFi,
sure.
it should be decentralized, and if it's
Yes.
decentralized enough, there is no one in charge of accepting or
Yeah. Exactly.
denying your applications. So that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
If it is, if there is an entity that approves or disapproves what you can do with the protocol, it's not DeFi, it's CeFi, it's centralized finance.
Not really. It can be part of the protocol that you make a KYC, and it may not allow you, the platform itself may not allow you to do certain operations if you don't have a KYC process, for instance.
That's
But
another.
I don't remember seeing any DeFi
No,
platform asking for
no,
that.
that's the another uh, type of finance platforms. There is, on one side, there is traditional finance. On the other side, you have DeFi. And in the middle, it's a whole range
It's
of
a gray area.
other protocols,
Yeah.
and there are starting to emerge protocols that are uh, that merge the good things of TradFi or CFI and the good things of DeFi,
Yeah.
hopefully, and not the other way around, merging the bad things of both.
Oh, you have
Uh,
also that. Yeah.
sure, but those are not examples. So um, there is a whole range of systems emerging right now, but we are talking about the other extreme, which is the totally decentralized
Yeah.
finance, right? And that decentralized finance doesn't care if you're white or black or yellow or pink or whatever. If you live in the United States or Singapore or Ghana or India or Bangladesh is India,
Yeah.
or South Africa or North
Yeah,
Pole.
it doesn't really matter.
So
As long as
yeah,
you have an account, you're up
if
for
you
it.
have two eyes or three eyes, they don't really care, right?
Yeah.
Uh, it's um, it's the beauty of it. It's permissionless, trustless, everything less. No, it's everything more because you have more to do and less to worry.
Yeah.
So uh, that's the beauty of DeFi. Less to worry. Less to worry about being allowed or not, but you have more to worry because if you want to be your own bank, you better worry about taking care of your money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, it's the
that's the whole
responsibility
thing.
part, right?
Yeah.
As
So
soon as you learn to manage that, it's the same for on every platform.
this is the the beginning of DeFi, and let's go to the next part, which is the lending protocols. Uh, Whenever we think about lending protocols, the first thing to come to mind is Have. So Have is also the gold standard of lending, and what you can do in this is to put your tokens to work for you as well. So you can earn uh, an interest. As you can see, there is a supply APY here. So if you supply USDC, for instance, you get 7%. That's it, right? And if you want to borrow USDC, you pay 8%. And this is uh, usually they have a fixed borrow rate and volatile borrow rate. So you can make fixed borrow rate loans or open uh, rate loans where you can have take um, the how can I say it? You can pay less when it's the market is down, but when the market is going up, and the market, by market I mean the loan rates, you might be better with the fixed rate. If the rates are lowering, then uh, you better take an open rate and take some lower rates when you can. But this fluctuates all day. So usually there are parts of the day where the rate is low and parts of the day the rate is high and so on. So uh, and yeah, this is a very interesting thing
Yeah, if I may
because
bring another good example of a lending platform is you usually see it in centralized exchanges. They also have lending platforms. So whenever you do a long or a short, you are asking for a loan ahead, and that money is invested. So your money is used as collateral for this loan, and you are asking for this loan. And so a similar platform to this is used on the exchanges. You just don't see it, so it's very transparent.
mhm, yeah. And examples of using a DeFi lending platform. Um, the first time that I used this in a meaningful way was in 2020 or 2021. I don't know. I know that Ethereum was like very low, um, and I'm not sure. I think it was $300 at that time, and I had my Ethereum bag, and it was I wanted to buy a car, uh, and it was it was just like this year, like Ethereum was going nowhere all the time, and I was waiting for it to go up, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I wanted to buy the car, and it was very painful to sell my ETH to buy the car because it didn't make sense. I knew it was going up for sure. I just didn't know when. And I was very um, in need to buy the car, and I didn't have um, the enough strength to sell my Ethereum because I didn't want to. I knew it was going up. So what I did was I got double the amount to pay the car, deposited on Aave, and got my loan with um, uh, a
Interest rate.
low uh, interest rate and a low risk because I had like twice the
Yeah.
amount of the car as collateral, and then I had more to put if I needed, so that I didn't get liquidated. So I put it there. I was thinking of doing this transaction for a long time, and I realized, yeah, let's try Aave. It's battle tested. I'm not losing my ETH there, and it's it was just one of the best deals of my life because
Yeah.
actually it was the best deal in DeFi, but it was not the best deal of my life. But it was a very interesting one because at the end, uh, the car ended up costing me. I got the bull run of it.
Yeah. It cost you
Uh,
zero, right?
it was not zero. I had to
But it
pay
was
for it
close.
like uh, the same as like one ETH on the beginning, like $200 or
Yeah.
$300
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Because of the price rising, you ended up auto paying the loan, right?
Yeah, I just paid a very small amount for it, and then that was it. So the bad part was that I had to do several transactions, and the transactions at that time were costing like $100 each or something like that.
Yeah.
It was very hard to close the loan because it was insanely high, the network fees.
Yeah.
Um, and but yeah, still it was very easy. I came here the night before I was buying the car, and I did everything without any approval, without any delays. From If you go to get a loan from a bank, it's a nightmare. You have
Oh
to
yeah.
send all the documents, go there 10 times to talk to the manager, and go 20 times to the church to pray for God's to allow you to have your loan. Here I did the night before. Next day in the morning, I went to the dealer, bought the car, and uh, it was it.
Yeah. Taking a
So
loan takes like what, 5 minutes, if so.
yeah, it was just very
Yeah.
easy. And then I was checking, and then Ethereum went up and up and up and up, and that was the very cool thing. I was seeing the costs of my car going down and down and down.
Yeah.
And then when I thought, well, I think I'm done with this. I'm good. It's a good deal. I just repaid uh, my
The loan.
loan and kept my Ethereum,
Yeah.
and that was really cool because I paid the loan with actually with no, it was I paid the loan with the results of um, not the Ethereum uh, run, but with what's the name of that coin for a metaverse?
Oh, the
Mana.
mana.
Mana went up like crazy. I had like invested in Mana like $200. That's why it costed $200. I invested in Mana in the very low bear market, like $200. It went all up to $10,000.
Is that project
So
still alive?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
I
have
still
any
have some
idea.
mana around in
So
some wallet.
so I sold the top of mana, paid the loan with it, and just a few a very low amount of Ethereum, and that was it. I kept all my ETH, and I had the car. So it's this kind of things that we can do with DeFi,
Yeah,
and of course it's a risk because if the market goes down when you are in a loan, you better be prepared.
yeah, you might get liquidated and lose all your
Yeah,
funds.
but if it's done the proper way, and if you are pretty sure that the market will go up, then you can leverage yourself with these kind of tools and take very interesting profits. And that's a very interesting approach to take advantage of this technology.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So, and this it's just this, right? You just supply, um, and you borrow, and it's it's very simple. Um, you have markets here, uh, many tokens that you can
Yeah,
use in
all
this.
you have to do is to put some currency there as collateral. They will borrow you a percentage of that collateral,
Yeah,
and yeah, just use it. It's liquid.
you can even also swap tokens in this. So if you want, and
Yeah, they have
yeah,
that because it's useful. It's probably connected to Uniswap or something like that. They probably are not doing the swap themselves. Um,
I'm not sure because they also have liquidity pools.
mm,
So maybe they can. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, they can. I'm just saying this because most of the times projects use each other, so they
Yeah,
just have agreements with other protocols, and they just use each other to do this kind of stuff.
exactly. So yeah, this is the second part of it, and the third is yield farming, which usually requires a bit more expertise, or it's not really expertise. It's more like uh, knowing where to go to get your to farm your yield, right? So here is just like you deposit your tokens, you get an APY, and that's it in Aave. But there are a few protocols where you can um, provide liquidity and be gifted with the general APY of the protocol, and plus governance tokens that you can then exchange to make extra profit.
Yeah,
And
let's say that here on the lending platforms, the risk is virtually zero. But on farming, there are some risks associated usually.
mhm.
So maybe we can talk about those risks.
uh, and if we want to talk about risks, you we should talk about one thing that is sorry, one thing that is interesting, which is um, impermanent loss, which is
Yeah,
uh, very uh, nerdy name for something that means exactly loss that is not permanent. So you can actually be taking a loss in a deal, but not realize it, because the market can turn around and you can get right where you were, or even have profit, right? So it's like a loss on paper. Uh, but what it means, usually you have that when, for instance, um, you supply liquidity in a Uniswap pool, for instance, and that's one risk, because in large pools like USDC, Ethereum, for instance, there's no that's not a very big problem. But
Yeah.
if there is low liquidity, uh, and if a token fluctuates a lot more than the other in the liquidity pool, usually people go and sell uh, the token that is uh, getting more value, right?
Yeah.
So people just go there and sell the high value token and give the low value token. And as a shareholder of that pool, you will get a lot more low value tokens and a lot less high value tokens.
Yeah.
So that's your risk, right? You will get always an equal amount of those tokens uh, on each side.
Usually you
Equal,
will get the liquidity token, right? Um, which if you exchange it, it will have a split of 50-50 for each.
yeah. But the problem is that you in this scenario you will have, um, if you exchange your liquidity tokens for the tokens again,
Yeah,
then
you will
you
be in a
will get
loss. Yeah,
you will be in a loss, in a technical
because
loss,
one of the
because
tokens is really low value.
yeah. So that's one problem of this, and that you need to address. And actually, it's the only risk uh,
Yeah,
of this at least in Uniswap, because it's battle tested, and it doesn't have any
yeah, weird
suspicion of
mechanisms. Yeah,
uh,
because there are other.
possibly being hacked or something.
Yeah,
You never know, right? There is also always a
yeah.
risk
There's
that
also
things
always that risk, but yeah,
can be
these
hacked. But
platforms are pretty much tested.
yeah, so yeah, and on the farming side, there is a lot of protocols trying to maximize yield, and there is um, uh, what's the name of that? Why something? Let me check. Uh, uh, Doing this live is always nice to search for things. Uh, it's a protocol started with Y.
Hmm.
Uh, that always searches for the best yield that you can get.
Yeah, there are some protocols that do that. They just have a few internal protocols, and then they, when you put your money in and they invest on it, they just choose whatever is best at that moment.
Yeah, and they use different strategies, and they create different strategies to for you to maximize your profits and maximize the tokens that you
Yep.
get and all that and so on. So I'm not uh, finding the right the project that I wanted to share, but it's something like that. Why finance or something like that. Uh, the the search gods are not friends with live stream people.
Yeah, of course
So
not. Come on.
yeah. But anyway, I think we covered most of the DeFi large topics.
Yeah.
Um, Experiment with it. Don't go very
Yeah, don't go crazy
deep.
at first. Just try to make some small investments, some small transactions, small loans. See how it
Yeah,
works. Don't go crazy
experiment.
the first time.
And actually, in this time of the market, it's the perfect time to experiment and see if you can get some extra yields
Yeah,
with some spare cash. Not put all your bags in one basket. Uh, I I would think of maybe using DeFi on a very small amount of your portfolio, like 1-2% or something like that. Experiment with it. See if you can get some profits on that, and um, don't leverage yourself too much because usually shit
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Uh, these markets are very volatile. Although we more or less understand that from here it will only go up, it always
yeah.
goes
But
down.
keep in mind, this is not financial.
Uh, we are not
What's the name
advisors.
of it? This is
We
not
are not
financial.
advisors of anything.
Yeah,
The only advice we give you is uh, bad advice for sure.
yeah,
So don't follow what we say, but anyway, we want to share what you think, what we think about it, and I really think that the the market will go up from here. But don't forget, even parabolic, when we are going parabolic like nuts, like 20% a day and stuff like that, there's always 30 or 40% um, crashes
yeah,
all the time. So be careful, right? Do your own thing. Don't say what we say to you or anyone in YouTube. Uh, there's no one able to know where the market goes.
yeah. Don't trust us.
Neither,
Don't trust anyone. So
neither do
yeah,
I. I don't have a crystal ball. Uh,
I
I
do,
just
but it doesn't work.
I just have my
It
coffee
sucks.
mug,
My crystal
and
ball
my coffee
sucks.
mug doesn't know where the market goes. Okay,
I do have a crystal ball, but it doesn't
you
get
have
it.
it.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
Okay. Have you checked the batteries?
Yeah, no, it
No.
doesn't work.
Okay.
It just doesn't work.
So,
It gives really bad advice.
like us.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, anyway, uh, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit of DeFi today. Um, it's a very interesting uh, space. if you go to the big ones, don't go for new protocols or the next big DeFi tokens, especially on Binance Smart Chain
Yeah,
called BNB chain, because they just don't want Binance anymore, because they are getting sued. I know
yeah, yeah. Well, they have to split up
those criminals.
some stuff.
Uh, no, I really like CZ. I think he's a good guy, but yeah, he got too big to be accepted by the real big gang players like BlackRock. So
you you can
I don't
mention their
know.
names.
Yeah, those big ones like
Yeah,
BlackRock, and they just want him out of the way, right?
yeah, of course.
Because they can, and I can still call Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah,
Eh,
but yeah, because
That,
it is. Come on, BNB is the name of the coin. Come on.
anyway, so
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Uh, if you want to send us a message, ask us questions, have any doubts, just get to us in our social media. You have the links down below on the comments. And yeah, anything else you want to say? Click the
yeah,
like button, subscribe if you want to know about further
all the good
videos.
things,
Yeah, keep watching us.
and watch the traditional finance getting disrupted with this, because when you start using blockchain technology and DeFi protocols and all this, and you see the craziness it is to use TradFi, you will never going back.
Yeah,
Uh, I just use a bank today to pay the bills I cannot pay with crypto. Uh, I have centralized finance, or plenty of centralized finance accounts. They all give us credit cards, but the one that I use most is crypto.com. Um, they give me cash back when I pay for stuff. They I can pay everything with crypto. I don't use cash anymore. I just to pay my taxes, I have to use cash. To
yeah.
pay a few bills, I still have to use my bank, like a water bill
Yeah, the
or
traditional finance still has a place there. So the traditional
electricity.
banking,
Uh,
it still has a place because you have to pay all of that, and the rest of the world is still working the old-fashioned way.
but it's
So
so cool that those are the only things that I have to pay with
yeah,
TradFi,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
because crypto is so much faster, so much nicer,
Yeah, and cheaper.
and cheaper. And so, yeah, experiment first, toes first. Don't get heads first in nothing in this space. Learn, experiment, do your own diligence, understand things, and then use them in your real life, and you will see the difference. It's
Yeah,
amazing, right?
yeah,
So let's
yeah. Let's wrap it
wrap
up.
this up.
And
Uh, Thanks for joining us in our mission to decentralize the world
yeah, wisely.
wisely. And we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.